New coach at McKinney North, but a familiar face. Michael Oldham takes over the Lady Bulldogs as Valerie Little steps aside to become the Title IX coordinator here in McKinney ISD. Michael joins us now, and you were Val's varsity assistant back in 2006, 2007. You were the JV coach last year. How special is it for you now to be the head coach of this program?
It meant a lot to come back and not just to be the head coach, but it meant a lot to come back last year and help Coach Little. They're coming off of a really good season and a turnaround season, I think, for the program. The difference in when I came back last year and when I was here in 06, 07, really noticed the change of the culture of the whole program. Just a whole new outlook when the girls come in the gym. And so I was very pleased to have the opportunity to take over that situation, because the previous situations I'd taken over as a head coach, I was the person that needed to change the culture of those programs. And so being able to take over this one where the culture had been changed, the kids were used to winning, they were used to doing the work that it takes to win, meant a lot. And then Coach Little and I just being friends, it was a good situation, and very excited about it.
Michael, you talk about changing the culture. You're right. You had to do that at Wiley in the early 2000s. You led that program to unprecedented success, and then a 2-year run with Mineral Wells as a head coach. How do those experiences serve you now?
Well, I think the experiences that I had at both of those pay dividends now, just the things I learned of what it took to get to winning and to have a established program. I'm not one that wants to win 1 year and then wait 3 more years for another group of good seniors to come through to have another success. My plan at McKinney North is to put McKinney North basketball on the map, and when people think of women's basketball, I don't want them just thinking of Duncanville and Plano West and Cedar Hill and Lincoln. I want them thinking of McKinney North also. So the experience I gained at those other 2 schools will help me hopefully take this program to the next level. They made the regional final before. That's a place I haven't been as a coach, and so getting us back to the regional final is my first goal, and then keep us there for years to come is definitely what we're looking at doing.
That run happened in North's first ever trip to the playoffs back in 2009, 2010, North going to the state quarterfinals, another playoff appearance last year. And so now, like you say, under Valerie Little, some tradition has been established. Now there are some expectations, and I'm sure you and this team in particular have embraced those expectations coming in.
Definitely. You know, I think a big part of ever reaching your goals is embracing the expectations, having them for yourself, looking at it as a challenge, and you know, not something that you don't desire. You want kids that want high expectations and have high expectations of themselves. And this team talks about making a run to Austin often. I usually have to settle them down and let them know that we got to go one game at a time, and take this journey, for what it is. And we're still a young team, so we're going to take the journey. Our goal is to make the playoffs first of all, and then we'll take it from there. But returning to the regional is definitely something that we have expectations of.
If you follow North basketball on the girls' side, you appreciate the name Mason. A couple of years ago, Amanda Mason led this team to the state quarterfinals, now playing at Tulsa. Now her younger sister, Alexis, is starring for this team as a junior, and she's been starting for the varsity since her freshman year. She leads your team in scoring at 16 a game. What are your impressions of Alexis Mason?
Alexis just has a great passion for basketball in general. She has a passion for competing. And I think with that mix is what makes her what she is. She's very vital to us. She handles the ball in critical situations. She, obviously has taken, the most shots for our team. But she's, shooting the ball at a very high percentage for considering how much she shoots. From the 2-point line, she's shooting over 50%, shooting about 70% from the free throw line. And her 3-point shot's coming along, as most players does, throughout the season. Usually you start off a little slow, and then as we go and do more shooting, that's going to pick up. But, as the other night, teams are going to definitely key on her. And she does a great job of distributing the ball. It's not all about her scoring. I think she's often just as happy getting the ball to a teammate to score. And you see that through the fact, she's probably averaging anywhere from 4 to 5 assists, I would think. So very vital to our team. The games that she hasn't played well, we've struggled. So it's no hiding the fact that she's important, but we've got a lot of other pieces to our puzzle that we're excited about as well.
She had only 4 points in that district opening win over Wiley East on Friday. Like you mentioned, the Raiders made sure that Mason wasn't going to beat them, but that's all right. You had 3 other players step up and score in double figures.
Yes.
What did you like most about that win? Probably the fact that others did step up.
Yeah, the fact that any time a team is naturally going to try to take away your comfort zone and they're going to try to take away your best player. And Wiley East definitely put a defense in to do that to us. But then you have people like Danielle Coleman step up with 16 points that night. Mikayla Connor with 12, and then Amy Clanans came in with 10. And so having three of not your first options come in with double figures, and also they all shot a high percentage that night as well. That's very important, and it gives me, a lot of hope going down the road that they're not just going to be able to take away Alexis and beat us. We've got other ways to win and lots of other weapons.
Coleman with 16, by far a career high for the sophomore. She was on the varsity as a freshman last year. She seems like she's really growing now. What do you see from her development at a guard spot?
Danielle's really coming along. Shot selection was very, very good the other night. Shot 6 of 12 from the field. Danielle creates a lot of her offense from her defense. She's one of our better defensive players, generally playing, on their ball handler. And she really disrupts the rhythm of their offense. And that's a role she plays for us. She came in with 16 the other night. She's not going to have to get 16 for us to win on most nights. But the fact that the defense she plays and the tone she sets, she pushes the ball when she rebounds and steals. And so she also had 3 to 4 assists the other night, which, to go with 16 points is a very good night. So
You'll take that.
I'll take that any night.
You bring up KK, Mikayla Connor. She delivered as well in double figures, averaging 8 points this season. In her first year on the varsity, also a sophomore like Coleman. What do you like about her?
What you like about KK is that she brings a lot of different aspects to her game. She's probably our best defender. She can defend the other team's best guard or best post, rebounder. And she just brings a lot of defensive intensity to us. Her offense has been up and down, coming out of volleyball, so she's just now getting a basketball in her hand on a regular basis. So her offense is coming around the last couple of weeks, but her defense is what kind of, I guess that would be her calling card, and she was Defensive Player of the Year last year in the district she was in. So very vital piece to our puzzle, and very excited she's here.
How about the freshman post, Tiana Jackson? You call her Tootie, averaging nearly a double-double, 8 points, 8 rebounds a game. How good can she be?
Tiana can be as good as she wants to be. I expect her to be a top recruit when she gets her junior-senior season. She's already getting some attention from some people as a freshman. And she's doing all this without us running a play to her. I mean, she's averaging 8 points a game basically by being in the right place at the right time. What I say about Tootie is she works hard before she needs to work hard, and then so she's in position to make the play. Always around the basketball, plays defense without fouling a lot. She's going to be a great player. Definitely been a great piece to our puzzle and what we're trying to accomplish.
You say the goal defensively for North is to hold teams under 40 points. You've done that 5 times this season. Overall, how do you feel about your defense?
Well, as my team will tell you, I'm never happy with our defense, and once we do get our average to 40, I'll probably ask them to keep it at 38. But I just think that's part of being successful, is keep pushing. Right now I think we're sitting at almost 47 points a game, averaging. We have held several opponents to the under 40, which is our goal. But when you look down our schedule, some of the teams we played, they're averaging 65, 70 points a game. Plano West, the Irving MacArthur's, the Plano East. So they've been difficult for us to hold, to the 40s. So getting into district, it's definitely going to be a number we're looking at when we get halfway through, is if we're doing that to our district opponents, because that's what our pre-district schedule was all about, was preparing for these 14 games.
Did you ever say to Val, hey, thanks for that schedule you left me with? Because you see Mac on the, and yes, that was a great test for your team. Just the fact, second game of the season, you're facing a team with one of the top recruits in the nation, and it's a 7-point game going to the fourth quarter. You probably felt good that, hey, you were able to compete with a team of that caliber.
Yeah, it was kind of our goal throughout the year. First of all, it didn't bother me at all that Coach Little left us that schedule, because
Sure.
I probably would have went out and hunted those people down anyway. My second year at Mineral Wells, I think we played a very similar type schedule, and we were 3-13 going into the district play, but we made the playoffs for the first time in 15 years for that program. So I'm a firm believer in playing the teams that you want to be, and we want to be the Irving Macs. We want to be the Plano West down the road, and so I just think you have to play those teams. And as you mentioned, a 7-point game going into the fourth quarter. Last year we played Irving Mac, and the game was over in the second quarter. So the fact we were able to play 3 quarters with that caliber of team, shows improvement to me. And when we played the Plano West, we were, they outscored us 7 through the last 3 quarters the last time we played them. So it's all about the process, and, that, like I said, those are the teams we want to be someday. So I have no problem at all playing them, and we'll probably play the same schedule next year.
Non-district tournaments obviously help shape any team this time of year. You got to see some teams you'll see in district, in non-district. You played Highland Park in the finals of the Lady Scots tournament.
Yes.
Lost to HP. Then you play McKinney. Of course, you'll see them twice as well. And McKinney edged North in the Collin County Round Ball Classic. How do those games help you down the road? You get a free look at them in the non-district.
Anytime you get a free look at somebody, you like. I liked the opportunity. We got to play those teams. I'm not a very good loser. I didn't enjoy losing to those 2 teams. But if we are going to lose to them, I would rather it be in these tournaments. And basically both of those games boiled down to 2 to 3 possessions. And, we'll look at tape. We'll try to clean those things up and go back at them and see what we can do the next 2 times. So.
District home opener against Pierce coming up Friday. What do you most want to see?
I want to see our defensive intensity stay up. We really got after East. We forced them into, I believe it was 19 to 20 turnovers. That's something we look to do. We're pressing a little more this year than I have in the past as a coach, because I think that fits our athletes and the team that we have. So I want to see our defensive intensity. That's going to be the key to us, and doing what we want to do in district is going to be our defense. So I'll be looking for that and continue looking for good shot selection, keeping our shooting percentage up high, and those types of things.
Michael, best of luck. We'll see you down the road.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Michael Oldham, head coach of McKinney North. District play rolls on for the Lady Bulldogs, and much like McKinney High, North gunning for a 3rd straight playoff appearance.